Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host Lipstickpaddy, and we're in the twilight hours of another amazing game. We need to do our final thoughts again for our subscribers that like our final thoughts. If you're seeing this a bit late, don't worry, it will be for late pledge, and you can also subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications when we do these, because it is a very tight schedule for us this week. That's why we're doing these, and it's pretty quiet for Kickstarters this week, isn't it? Not really anything there that's kind of should be on your radar. A bit of a retail, unless you like retails and stuff like that. Anyhow, Anastyr, this Golden Axe style arcade game that looks tremendous. Now I'm riding on the $1 pledge, hoping for two things. One is they can sort their shipping out by the time it ships. Shipping is getting cheaper, so with the game coming out, when is it coming out? July next year. You know, yesterday's video that I was looking at the Dark Quarter, that's not the late pledge on that's not going to close until Q2 2023. So if Anastyr has another 2023 late pledge closing date, then I'll definitely be up in my pledge 100%, because this campaign has been nothing short of like wow. And I pretty much hinted when I first did the video of this that it was gonna be one of Mythic Games' biggest games they've done, and it is turned into nothing short of that. In fact, with a plethora of expansion boxes and the hinted at and finally delivered the big long terrain piece, what's it called, the backdrop. Really exciting. So yeah, two things for me then. One, the shipping needs to come down, because worldwide shipping at the minute is $130. You can forget that. That needs to come down to around $50. Really, the Mexican shipping should be double the US. That's what it's expected. So hopefully they can sort that out. Maybe they can go to Look It Up Gaming. You know, they've been in cahoots with them when Look It Up were doing Legends, and you know, because Mythic were doing the minis for Legend. So they do know them, they're friends, right? So I don't know why they just don't Look It Up shipping. Mythic, either you're listening. So there we are, and I think this is going to be very exciting progress this next year. Anyway, just to go on the $1 pledge ride, just to see what stuff this is going to bring, because this is not going to retail. No way, Jose, is it? And I think the only disappointment has been the Brutosaur mini, which has not shown light of day yet. I'm pretty like, because yesterday the Dark Quarter broke 1 million. This isn't nowhere near, but you don't know what's going to happen in the final hours, right? But it's a case of, I don't know, is there big kettles of superfish coming? Is it like giant Kickstarters coming that people are waiting for, they're holding their money out for? Question mark? I don't know. But you know, you got to look at the backers. You know, almost 5,000 backers. It's a big project, because you know, there was a GameFound project that cancelled. Yes, in the last 24 hours. I'll do a video on it, I think, because they got like $500,000 and cancelled. Well, it wasn't enough in the early days. $500,000. It's the second cancellation of the week. It's just strange stuff that's happening on Kickstarter at the minute. But anyway, Anastyr, let's jump into the updates. 45 updates. This was like a 16-day campaign. They've got 45 updates. So I'm going to go from the back, as it were. So the last update here, the 45. Let's have a look at this. Huge rocks. Yeah, they are doing terrain, which is looking good. And everybody wants terrain instead of putting, like, you know, flat piece, 2D pieces down. So this is fantastic. The core scenery is great. They've got a scenery pack for the bosses as well when you fight the bosses, which is cool. 30 stretch goals, unexpected allies. So I think there is more to come. It says, let's try to unlock the very last stretch goal, a 4-hero expansion. So this is going to be like, ooh, more big, juicy unlocks that are coming out. And awesome stuff like that, and really just been knocking it out of the park with their stuff. Let's go to the one before. I'm going to try and pick out the best ones, but I know these last few ones are kind of worth talking about. These standing stones do look really kind of nice. It's kind of that fancy thing, almost floating, isn't it? And you got to see some nice painted stuff here. Look very, very cool. Yeah. So, you know, looking at the minis, Mythic are like absolutely fantastic. So let's try to go to the updates that have purpose for the interest for you, shall we? Alright, update 41 here, and it's saying that the expansion box is now complete, that they've been unlocking throughout. So, look at the size of that mini compared to a hero, and they love doing this kind of scale. Because what Mythic do is they like giving you little minis because they want the scale to be huge, like 15 centimeters. That's, you know, it's half the size what normal heroes are in games. And it's just so you can see the size of the scales and things like this. Anyway, Necromancer's Plague, this has been unlocked throughout. Let's have a look at this thing. Set in the Bone Swamp, full environment, miniatures, adventure tiles, loot cards, event decks, boss. You know, this is like a real expansion. A bunch of new minis that are unique to the swamp, which is good because every area does have this interesting thing, because you're going to be fighting new enemies in the different areas of the game that you go to. And all that good stuff. But this is kind of an interesting one just because it's going to show you what you're getting in kind of the stretch goals. And it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you know, it's not showing you here fully because of, you know, been bleeding out slowly over the last week or so, but it's like another part, that another 5 scenarios that can be put into the full campaign, which is why it's very exciting, this campaign. So yeah, really good. Let's go to another interesting update. Update 40, just got a little bit of a map tile here of the swamp area. Looking incredible, isn't it? Like the expansion boxes have like the best art on them. It just looks so freaking awesome, doesn't it? Let's go to another interesting one. Update 39. Congratulations, the stretch goal has been. This is an art print that you're going to get, which is this black and white thing here. I don't know how you feel about art prints that you get with games. Is it something of interest? I mean, love to know your comments on art prints as unlocks. They seem to be unlocks that are really deep down the stretch goals, as if they're kind of stretching it, trying to stretch something out. I don't know. What's your feeling on art prints that you get for games? I'm sure you've got Kickstarters with art prints in. What have you done with them? Just left them in the box? Update 38, talking about mechanics where enemies can actually have mounts and you can knock them off the mount and ride that mount. So really nice mechanics that has been spelled out here with this mounted brother enemy, which looks fantastic, and it is using that mechanical swapperoo thing where you can swap heroes on. But this is really cool. You can knock them off and reuse the... Yeah, it says you tame it instantly, so yeah. Really, really good. Now, update 35, talking about the Frozen Mountains expansion and the all-in pledge, which is the pledge I want to go for if I'm backing it. Anyway, Echoes of Abscalon. Oh yeah, man, look at that beefy warrior. And this is great because it's kind of showing you two heroes coming together to do a special ability, like a I'm going to put my shield and launch you from it to do a big attack. That's super cool, isn't it? So up in the ice, some awesome art here, which again offers you a full environment. So minis, adventure tiles, loot cards, event decks, boss event. I mean, these are, we'll talk about full campaign. You need to go for the full pledge to get all this stuff because you travel into all these fantastic areas, and it has turned into like this amazing adventure. Core box has 18 scenarios. This add-on each is 5 optional scenarios to the campaign. 6 in this one, so you know, you just get the campaign's just getting much bigger, and it's super cool. Now these expansions come in at $60, but I don't think you're going to pick them a la carte. I think you're just going to go for the all-in pledge because it's so juicy of a thing. And again, look at the bloody minis, they're like best in class. I mean, the voice of Karos the bear here looks like you've made that from clay. I mean, it just looks so cool. I love it. Where's my Brutosaur? I know I'm not getting it, but you know, like the troll here looks spectacular. It really does look amazing. And this one, work in progress, this armoured guardian here. I love like they've got mini bosses as well, and it's so cool. Like, you're not going to have an adventure like this. This is why I'm so piqued my interest in it. Look at the bloody dragon, you know. I'm going to end up having a massive case with dragons from every game. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, IKEA here now in Mexico, slowly rolling out. They've not shipping to my state yet, so the Calyx is on hold with display shelf for the top and stuff, but I'm going to have a big soiree of dragons on the top of it when it comes. Anyway. Tiles, obviously double-sided, absolutely fantastic. I love this theme of going into the ice, and of course this standee stuff is represented as minis in the mini expansion, which is fantastic, isn't it? What I love about it though is if you're adventuring through these areas, there is going to be new equipment in here and all that stuff, so you are going to be like feeling like you're going to be getting stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's talking about the undisputed territory of the Nordic people, so you push it into Viking land here, and more epic stuff that's going on. The beautiful card art, and look at this backdrop picture that you've got here. It says, if you're interested in this backdrop or any other environments allowing you to transform your game board into a gorgeous diorama, check out this cosmetic add-on by clicking this image. Let's do it! Well, it just threw me down to update 29. The backdrop expansion. This is so amazing. It's only $20 as an add-on, but you know, as the terrain is moving, like on a river, as you're going into the next tiles, this backdrop's going to stay the same, but the backdrops of the area, you know. So it really does going to make it so thematic, the game, and so much more immersive with these gorgeous backdrops. I mean, the frozen mountain's delicious. The lava pit is delicious. Look at that as the table set up, at your heroes going across that. That's just stunning table presence, and that's why this game's so bloody exciting. And then they kind of spoil it by showing you the that grass tile. It's like the very opening of the game. For me, it's kind of like the the strangest art, I guess, from all of them, because it's the least interesting, just having grass. But now it makes sense, doesn't it? Because you've got that backdrop of the grass field behind you now. Floating rocks showing you kind of the fantasy now. So it's now, instead of just a boring grass board, now you've got that backdrop, so it looks, it validates it. It validates it. And we'll get these beautiful miniature pack here, which, you know, I love terrain packs and miniature packs like this. Is just a gimme, isn't it? Yep. All super exciting. And this is the boss battle terrain elements here. So, oh, it's like so incredible. I mean, look at the amber stasis demon and the darkling sword in amber. Oh man, it just looks so good, doesn't it? I love the dragon head fountain with this kind of amber coming out of the head of this thing. Oh man, it just looks so good. How can you not get excited about this? Now we're back to the ice update. Going down, that was a good kind of you know, side path. Just showing you some of the mounts in the area up in the snow region. These giant sea rocks are called, but stags out, and they look reindeer. It's super dangerous, they look like. Talking about the enemies that you'll find here. you know, these kind of Viking ones, but, you know, this guy wearing like a bear armor, that looks really cool. Deer helmet on this guy, wolf helmet on that guy, looking so good, that armor. Teasing the map are wonderful stuff, and more pictures and stuff that we're getting here, and giant minis and stuff. And there's the dragon that you'll find in this box. So looks like all these expansions are going to get some kind of epic boss, and this guy is obviously a dragon. And a look at some of the heroes that are up in this area. So very cool. Like the mage here. It's interesting to see a mage, isn't it, with this kind of leather as a mage outfit. They're usually cloth types, but this guy's gone for leather, which is still very cool. I'm sure he has a spell to keep his chest warm. But yeah, another shaman. Very exciting. I love the aspect of this. Well, we get a look here at the big ass pledge. Save yourself $70, it says. Hopefully save on shipping as well when you get all this. Doesn't it get? It gets to a certain weight and then it just becomes how big it is, isn't it? I think that's how it works. Anyway, you can see all the expansions here are just delicious. Kickstarter exclusive then is that moth pit thing, the Necromancer's Plague, and we've just been looking at the Echoes of Ascalon. But in this 400 pledge, you obviously get the backdrop tiles, you get all the miniatures and the boss miniatures, and you get the exclusive mini, the big shard guy as well. They're calling it a caravan pledge. They're talking about a la carte here. I think you'd be daft to do a la carte because really you want this massive adventure. You know, Anastyr, you're in the grasslands, you go into the mountain area with Solace, jungle area with the All Mothers, then you come out into the mountains with the Fog, Queen's Vow, I don't know what that is. We're going back and finding this stuff out, and then into the Ice, and then finally probably Necromancer's Plague. Is that going to be the end? I don't know how it works, how these are going to work as the campaign progresses, but I'm deliciously going to be excited to find out how the campaign links between all these boxes. I'm pretty sure Necromancer's Plague, as it's a Kickstarter exclusive, that's probably going to be side quests that you can go on. I don't think that's going to be, because if the other boxes are intended to be sold at Mythic's online shop, But this is going to be big, isn't it? This could be like a meter tall. If you think about it, it might take up 2 Calyx shelves or something like this. It's looking massive, isn't it? But $400 with like $100 shipping on that. There's your $500. I've been talking about this, haven't I? You definitely owe yourself one $500 pledge once a year. There's 2 knocking on the door, isn't there, at the minute? Isn't there? Well, hopefully the late pledge for this will be 2023, and I probably up my pledge then, because those $500 pledges are Blue Moon activities. Update 31 then. Let's look at this mini. It's Catilium, First of the Mother. Check this mini out. It's like she's on stilts or something. It's like really kind of out there, isn't it? They have some really great minis in this game that are kind of going to be cool. This is from the Bone Swamp mini boss, by the way. So we're learning more of that as we trounce backwards through the updates, which is kind of the excitement. But there's kind of a picture of her. So yeah, on stilts, but she's also got stilts for her hands. Reasons. I'm guessing you've got to claw your way through this. If your feet get stuck in the mud, you can claw your way through. I'm guessing in the swamp or something like that. I don't know. And some of the more swamp art. And talking about these alternate sculpts that they're doing, which has been delicious that they're doing this. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to do as much as they can to get as many unique sculpts with the game, which just just talks about how professional Mythic are and why they're in the Premier League of board games and why they're part of the amazing renaissance of board game developers in France. Let's go to the next. Oh, update 27. Here's a nice one. Deep dive into the content and gameplay. Let's rock and roll. Jade Sea 5 scenarios, Bone Swamp 5 scenarios, tiles from the Jade Sea and the Bone Swamp, showing a bit of art off here, looking delicious. The Forge of Giants, 3 scenarios, looks like you're inside the forge itself here. Anastyr's Fortress, 5 scenarios, there's amazing lava art, isn't it? Wow, just spectacular. If you $1 pledge this douche here, you'll have to spend $15 to get him. But if you go for the 400, you're going to get it in it, aren't you? Anyway. Yeah, so I'm showing you off some of the incredible minis here that have been painted. And they just look spectacular. Looks like some boss here. It says include the super powerful mini boss and boss, but this person riding this extremely strange mount. This fantastical world really is strange, isn't it? All that good stuff. There's your roster of heroes that you're going to be getting from the main, and yeah, some more of the mounts and stuff that you're getting it. There's the Brutosaur. There's the Brutosaur caravan. I want a mini that big, please. Expansions then. The All-Mother's Secret expansion. Look at that mini. Oh, it's not a mini anymore, is it? It's a sculpture. When they get these big, they end up becoming sculptures, don't they? Jesus, Mary and Joseph, this stuff looks ace. Tiles from the primordial jungles. Look at this river coming through. This looks amazing. Now, as I come down here, there is this press this button for a full presentation of the Secret All-Mother expansion. Let's do it! Alright, it's thrown us to update 13 on this incredible journey through the updates. And oh, look at the art! I love the saber-toothed tigers! Looking spectacular! Yeah, so this is a $55 expansion. They're not messing around with this one, are they? Obviously going to get jungle enemy types and some new heroes that are going through the jungle. They definitely look a bit more Neanderthal, don't they? I really like the look of that guy. And you know, we've got these tigers, saber-toothed tigers. Super cool. Mounts, of course, from these heroes, and here are your kind of jungle types. I love the kind of feathered Moctezuma type armor there. Look at the amazing Rhino Devastators here with the claw gauntlets. Fantastic. The Ivory Saber-Tooth Tigers, which have got armor on and looks like they've got Rhino upgrades here. That looks incredible as well, doesn't it? And just spectacular women sculptures from these this clan as well, which are very cool. But yeah, Adventure Tiles through the jungle definitely looks great. You can imagine the soundtrack you can be playing going through a jungle. You know, the noise of the jungle. The immersion in this game is going to be fantastic, isn't it, peeps? More art here about this kind of plantage and stuff. You know, there's lots going on. Don't want to kind of spoil it that much, but they do intend to have lots of thematic stuff in these areas that's going on. And give you a little bit of the equipment that you can pick up in these areas. So yeah, all themed to the area. Enemies themed to the area. Bosses themed to the area. All that stuff. How does the campaign link it all though? That's going to be fascinating to find out, isn't it? Well, that was the Mother's Secret. Looked awesome sauce. Let's go to the Fog of Revolt. Hit this button. Ooh, update 19 now. Let's have a look at this one. You've crossed the Jade Sea. You've crossed the primordial jungle. and the Bone Swamp, and your caravan is now going to go into a new region as wild as its gruff mountain dwellers, the Kingdom of the Stone Hills. Ooh. Right, another big box, $55 for this beast. Loads of stuff. Again, these are real expansions where they're pushing more of what you're getting in the main box. It is very good to see. 2 more heroes in this stone area. Different mounts, you know, all thematic to the region, and warriors as well. Nice rock eagle. Another amazing large sculpture. Some adventure tiles as you're climbing up the mountain. Looks really cool. And some standees which you know have been miniaturized. Woohoo! A couple of the... I love it how they're kind of teasing what you get in here, like this kind of aspect, but you are going to be getting the items from the area here, which is very cool. Like, see all this, you know? Painted minis look very cool, don't they? I like all this. I'm surprised they've not mentioned an art book, because art books are great to kind of inspire you from doing the minis up yourself, but I guess with the updates you just have to come here and get all the updates and take what they've got, you know, because they're painting it all up. But yeah, those kind of concept art and how it's come to fruition, absolutely fantastic. Thanks to 12 stretch goals you've unlocked, the core box contains 93 different figures, 11 alternate minis at this stage. Wow, all good stuff happening. Let's go back. So jungle to the mountain, and we're going further down. These are the heroes from those 2 boxes, and more painted minis. Wow. The Queen's Vow. So let's click this button and see where it takes us. Update 23. Now this adventure's getting deeper. Look at these wonderful colours that they've got on these minis. Wow. Man, don't they look cool. Now it says you've crossed the Jade Sea, you've gone through the jungle, you've gone through the Bone Swamp, and you've gone through the Stone Hills. Now you're at the most sinister and disturbing of all, a subterranean place populated by dead creatures brought back to life, the necropolis of the Mad Kings. So, ooh. Terrifying underground necropolis. Can you imagine what this is going to look like? 5 scenarios, which are 3 scenarios, a mini-boss scenario, and then a boss scenario. So, very good. Please note, the core box will contain 4 regions. The Sea, the Forge, the Anastyr's Fortress, and the expansion Bone Swamp, which is the new box. So don't feel like you're getting shortchanged if you're just going for the base game. All this extra stuff is for people that want this epic adventure that this is offering. We're talking another big box, campaign structured game, but with arcade action combat. And really, the story is in the background to the combat. Alright. So these are the enemy types we're getting here. So we're getting some kind of raptors in this place as well. Look at these heroes. Interesting. And you can tame these Rexes, it says. These are kind of the zombies then. Oh, look at that. Raph. Or Rafe looks so cool. And, oh man, these mini types are looking absolutely phenomenal, aren't they? The Abscalon Dark Sire of the Reborn. Look at him. So yeah, another shaman coming with it. Warrior and a shaman, which is good. And we get a sneaky peeky of the adventure tiles, but if you go into this subterranean place, that's going to look awesome. Can you imagine what the boss tile is going to look like for all these? And it looks like this place is where you're getting this sword and the demon in the amber. Spectacular. And yeah, a couple of the boss bosses here. Oh, look at that painting. It's so good. Oh, peeps. I mean, I don't know. It'd be like extra $500 for a painted set. Would you put your pledge to $1,000 to get these painted minis? Yeah, is it no equipment they're showing us? That's the heroes, by the way, looking cool. But yeah, this is just drip feeding you of hinting what's coming with this, and all these expansion boxes look just so cool, don't they? So let's go back to that one update we're going through. Right, we're back then, and adventure mode. This is the easiest way. Choose a scenario, difficulty, and then go for the fight. The story mode. Play a series of adventures linked by an epic storyline in which your group of heroes will be able to rest up at the caravan to buy items, rent a mount, train, or earn special raises. It says raises. Like the adventure mode, you can play with any hero you want. Now, campaign mode. Let's see what this says. This mode is a more advanced version of story mode. In addition to the caravan stage, this time you will be leading a group of 6 companions who will be able to improve their martial abilities and spending the experience gained by replacing each technique and fury card with more powerful versions. You will also be able to acquire new technique cards that promote synergy between heroes. That's the kind of combos you can do together, which sounds awesome sauce, doesn't it? That's just talking about difficulty. So yeah, the campaign sounds fantastic because you know there is going to be a sense of progression through it, which is good. You're going to be upgrading even your ultimate ability and all your other hero abilities and all that stuff. It does sound fabulous, doesn't it? I think we're coming at the end of this one, so let's see if there's any more interesting ones on this path. Well, peeps, I think I mined as much as I could from the updates that were interesting, and we're back on the main page. Here it is, the Caravan Pledge. So I think this is the one that you must get, because the campaign's going to be pushing through all this, and you're going to get a sense of a great adventure and role play as you go through all these great areas. I think it's going to be fantastic. Really is going to be great. You've got the amazing backdrops and all the 3D terrain. You are set for one incredible immersive experience, and really it's just missing a soundtrack, and that's it really, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to be like absolutely phenomenal. I think, interestingly enough though, if we go down the stretch goals that they've been busting through, because they've got some that they've not busted, more enemies in that, and they're talking about this, that there's going to be heroes that come at the end, isn't it? Let's go down to the shipping. Alright peeps, here's the shipping. Rest of the world, $120 to $250. That is going to be insane, and you know this is going to be like a big box if you go for the 400. But I'm like, it's going to seal the deal whatever the shipping is, because this is just a companion pledge shipping, and the all-in is giving you like 6 times more boxes than the. So what is the shipping going to be like? I recommend everybody to go on the $1 pledge here, and you can't really see $1 pledges on here, but I guess there's a lot of people coming on this, and the shipping is going to seal the deal, isn't it? Because we know it's going to be 400, and it's this shipping. Hopefully it stays within a reasonable amount, you know. But so yeah, this is the big thing that is the worry, and hopefully they can get help with Lucky Duck to kind of help them out there. Let's go back to the top. Well peeps, it said embark on an epic quest to save the world from the threat of Anastyr. Wow, this is going to be an epic quest going for all these regions. That's what it's going to be. And what an amazing campaign that shall be. Super immersive, and I think it's almost like a dungeon crawler, but you're not in a dungeon, you know, you're up on the top of the land, which is kind of interesting, and that's kind of what makes it cool, because it's more accessible as a dungeon crawler, because it's more action, arcade, dice chucking fun, isn't it? So, you know, I think Midara, Tanaris Adventures, Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, and Anastyr, I think they all sit nicely as a collection. And this would have one hell of a presence on the shelf, wouldn't it? And certainly one hell of a presence on the table with the backdrop and all the 3D terrain. And all those spectacular minis, which are looking like best in class at the minute, peeps. Well, I said yesterday that Dark Quarter was like a blue ribbon event on Kickstarter. Anastyr's definitely like an incredible game that Mythic have pulled out here using all their experience of the past, it looks like, and I think for them it's a marquee game, so I'm going to have to give this a blue ribbon as well, because I think not having this in your collection is going to be like, oh my god, that game looks so good. Just look on the gameplay looks so fascinating, art-wise just knocks it out the park, and that backdrop just, oh man, no game looks like this on the table. And you know, it's kind of doing a Viking game in a good way, because you're going through all these regions and stuff, and it's like real high fantasy, like going into these areas, so really, really cool. Well, hopefully we'll get this video out, so you can at least see my thoughts, and hopefully it'll help you in the late pledge to wait until we find out what the true shipping is, because that's going to be the nail biter, isn't it, because of all those boxes. Anyway, it's been one epic mining fest going through those 45 updates, peeps. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing, and of course hit the bell to get these notifications when these videos go out, so it can help you decide at the very least to lower your pledge to $1, because you know you might be faced with a, you know, I like put $400 pledge on, and then oh my god, it comes to shipping and it's another $400, like oh. Whereas your $1 pledge at least gives you that security that you can really kind of balance it and see if that game's turned into something magnificent, you know, in the time it's took to get to late pledge closing and all that stuff. Because, you know, late pledge is going to be in a year's time. There's going to be a lot of development in that time, and you're going to see a lot more of the game, and hopefully it'll get you obviously in a really good position to up your pledge at that point. So that is, of course, my recommendation always, is to go $1 pledge if your concern is shipping. And because I'm living in Mexico, it's mostly always a concern. So, peeps, I'd love to know what you thought of Anastyr in the comments. Did the Kickstarter just become too big? Did it, you know, did it grow to a point where you thought this is just too big? Because I pretty much knew coming in Mythic Games would pull out something massive. They've got the you know, part of what they do, they're similar to Simon in showering you with more box content, but I think whereas Simon are giving you boxes of plastic to sit on your shelf and get dusty, Anastyr's boxes is all gameplay related content and more scenarios and campaign, and just, oh man, just you're gonna use it all is what I'm trying to say. So it's all relevant and all fabulous, peeps, and that's why we recommend it. Absolutely fantastic, and that's why we give it a blue ribbon, as we think this is a Kickstarter that you owe it to yourself to have on your collection. Ooh, that's 2 this week that are blue ribbons. Bloody hell's fire. But Kickstarter at the minute has just been epic, hasn't it? And yeah, Waste Night 2nd Edition expansion, that's going to get a blue ribbon, just saying. That's already been doing amazing stuff, and I'll do my final thoughts on that next week. Anyway, peeps, thank you so much for watching and all that good stuff. You've been watching Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye for now.